Okay? You got to invest in your marriage. And then when your children get older, like around 4 or 5 years old, now they're ready for one-on-one day. So then you can start doing one-on-one days with each child. Once a week, you take one child out. Next week, second child. Third week, third child. Fourth week, fourth child. Fifth week, fifth child. Sixth week, sixth. You understand what I'm saying. Okay. Okay. And you are investing in each one of those children, personal, one-on-one relationships which grow over time. You are feeding each tree, which is different. One's a peach tree, one's an apricot tree, one's an apple tree, one's a lemon tree, one's a blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? One's a carrot, one's, okay. All right? So they're different trees. So you got to feed them different too. They have different, you know what I'm saying? They have different requirements in that sense, right? So when you do the one-on-one day training, you can now focus in on strengthening that child, not comparing that child, right? Comparing the children is one of the worst things you can do. Let me tell you something, folks. Let me tell you this from our training with our kids, which I always, as the daddy, I always try to reduce the natural tendency of sibling rivalry. You understand? Siblings will have rival. Why? Because they all want attention. There's only two parents. So everybody's fighting for the attention of two parents. Or, you know what I'm saying? So you always have rivalry amongst your children. Do not do things, like stupid things, like pit your children against each other. Okay? You are sabotaging those relationships. One of them may do good, but the other one, you're now killing their relationship with you, okay? You want to decrease the amount of sibling rivalry. Why? Let me tell you something. You may think, I got this kid who does real good in school. I got that kid who doesn't do good in school. So I'm just gonna compare the one that does good to the other one and say, hey, how come you can't do like this, like this, like that? Now you may think that's gonna work. But what it's gonna probably do is probably gonna drive a wedge between you and that child, because what they will feel is my parents just have a performance-based love relationship with me. I have to perform in these ways, then they love me. Purely based on performance. They will want to be around you. Trust me, they will not want to be around you as they get older. If you have money, maybe they'll stick around to steal money from you. But that's about it. They're not going to honestly appreciate your presence. Okay? So, you don't want to be exacerbating sibling rivalry. Let me tell you something. Okay? Even in raising our boys, there were periods where they didn't do well in school. As with Daddy, I was terrible at school until freaking high school. You understand? I was 1.2. I was getting D's, F's, everything. You understand? Because I did not see the value of sitting in the classroom being hammered with these classes all day long. Right? I was uninterested, unmotivated. I wanted to go outside and play and skateboard. And then when I was in high school, I wanted to go train. Okay. So the point is, but you understand? Once, like in my life, once I decided to do well, bam, I got straight A's. Just had to decide. Right? It wasn't because somebody was comparing me, this or that. It was, I decided, boom, it happened. So there's also studies on this. Males tend to have life-changing shifts that completely change their level of performance, right? But they have to have a change in their life. Something big usually happens, and they decide to do well, right? Our boys too. When they were younger, they had trouble going to school. Did Daddy freak out? No, because why? I didn't do well in school, so I didn't freak out. Because I know at any moment, if they decide, and we encourage them, and they decide at the moment, they will do well, right? So what happened? I didn't play the game of trying to compare them. Why don't you do good as this kid? This kid does so much better than you. He does study so much better than you. You see, you play that game, you're gonna hurt. You're gonna scar that relationship. You're playing right into the devil's tactics. Instead, if you be patient, if you be a little patient and not freak out, because why? No institution's even going to see elementary or middle school anyway. Why y'all freaking out at freaking first grade? Right? Asian moms, as I tell the queen, right? Don't freak out. He's in first grade. No problem, baby. Don't worry. He's in first grade. You understand? But the Asian moms, your tiger moms, they just focus on the school. Everybody got to get the A. Okay. Nobody's going to see it. You got plenty of time. If you're antsy and you want it done now because maybe if the kids don't do well, then you look bad. See, many parents' motivation is that. I'm going to look bad in front of those other moms. That's not for the child then. That's for you. Who cares about those other freaking moms think? Just focus on the relationship. Don't hurt that relationship. Because I tell you, if you don't hurt that relationship and you be patient, like we did with our kids, and even the queen, she gives them testimony, right? Because she's a Korean mom, and they're trained that way. And her mom did it, they got whooped, they got beat. They don't do it in school, you get beat, okay? Well, the queen was also in the sewing class. The sewing class, you would get beat up in the sewing class. Anyways, that shows you a little bit how gangster Korean culture is, okay? It's like, what, you up in the sewing club, crib? You up in the sewing club? They're going to beat you up. You're going to get hazed to get in the sewing club. Okay, anyways, that was back then, okay? The point is, okay, right, but even the queen in the testimony, she said, she laid out, but it was hard, right? Like, because the kids, they're not doing school, but they want to play video games. That drives mom crazy. Like insane crazy, right? insane crazy. And the daddy I had to call the queen and say, okay, babe, come on. Let's have some tea time. Just let the kids come home and decompress from school and not feel like the parents are hawking them, as we call it, helicoptering them. It's not like they're doing drugs and trafficking children and doing freaking things like that. They just gotta be. I mean, give me a break, okay? Okay. Or they got a C, whatever it is. Sometimes a C, okay, and a D, okay. But we don't freak out. I would say, hey, baby, I got Fs all the time. And I'm double Harvard grad, so don't worry about it. You give me no problem, okay? I said, don't worry about it. We got time. Anyways, the point is, even stuff like that is very important, right? You want to reduce sibling rivalry. Because sibling rivalry, if it's exacerbated, I've seen parents, they make their kids fight. Like, I didn't let my kids fight with one another because that also exacerbates sibling rivalry. Like, even train together, I didn't, if they had some rivalry, right, I didn't let them train together. Because many times that can get personal, right? So they would train with other kids, but I didn't push them training with each other until they were mature enough to be able to not take things personally and then digest it with one another, right? So some of that, reducing the level of sibling rivalry, right? Why is that important? Is you're creating an environment where the children want to gather, they value one another, they don't see each other as rivals, why, right? So they're not all fighting for parents' attention. Why? Because you are investing in one-on-one day training, right? So my first son, he didn't have to be jealous of the second son, or the second son didn't be first son, because they both got their days, which is not their birthday. It's their day. It's their one-on-one day with daddy and mommy. You see what I'm saying? They don't have to fight over attention. In fact, they can celebrate one another on the day. So like on their day, guess what? We stopped for a snack, after we had a McDonald's, whatever. Then we stop at 7-Eleven, whatever the case may be, and then or Family Mart, and they buy a little snack for themselves, and then they buy one for all their siblings. Right? Small thing. So now when they come home, they're celebrated. All the other siblings not jealous. They're happy. They're like, what'd you get us, bro? Yeah, okay. He got us the the pokey, or he got us the whatever, this chocolate, that chocolate, whatever, Cheetos, whatever it is, okay? And so each on their day, they're actually taking care of their siblings, which reduces rivalry even more. Each one of them has their own day, which reduces rivalry greatly. And the environment is what? So we're so blessed because we did that training. The siblings, they still play. They still get together and playing together in freaking until 2 or 3 in the morning. I go outside at 2 in the morning. They're all up in the car, and they're playing, a board game together. It's like now still. You understand? Because they see each other as assets, not rivals. Are you with me, folks? Who creates that environment? It's you. You're the king. The kings will create that environment. So you as a father, you got to create that environment. You are creating the environment for your kingdom, right? So the fathers, you got to be aware of this landscape. And you don't have to be perfect. Trust me, you don't have to be perfect. But you'll be aware of it in your leading your children, right?